travel is one of the safest modes of transportation, but even so, there are occasional incidents that make headlines. In this video, we will take a look at 10 of the most interesting airplane incidents, from a Buffalo collision to a stolen plane. These incidents are sure to make you say, "Wow, that's crazy." In 2014, a SpiceJet Boeing 737-800 plane was about to take off from Surat, India, when it collided with a stray buffalo that had dashed out onto the runway. The pilot slammed on the brakes, but the damage to the aircraft was too severe to allow it to take off. All 146 passengers on board had to be moved to another flight. The SpiceJet 737-800 Buffalo collision is a reminder of the importance of vigilance at airports. Animals, especially large animals like buffaloes, can cause serious damage to aircraft if they are not properly controlled. Airlines, airports, and animal control agencies need to work together to keep animals off runways and prevent accidents like this from happening. In the race against a Boeing 787 Dreamliner, the car was neck and neck with the plane as the end of the runway approached. But ultimately the plane slipped behind the car as its nose pointed toward the sky. The car proved to be superior, but the race was declared a draw. The Formula E race car versus Boeing 787 Dreamliner race was a unique and exciting event. It showed the potential of electric cars, and it also highlighted the challenges that these cars face. However, the race was also a reminder that airplanes are still the dominant form of transportation, and they will likely remain so for many years to come. A 30-year-old Boeing 767 plane was converted into a hotel at a luxury camping venue in Ireland. The plane was shipped to the venue by sea, as it was no longer airworthy. The wings had to be removed in order for the plane to fit on the barge. The plane was then reassembled at the camping venue and converted into a hotel. The interior of the plane was gutted and renovated, and 8 bedrooms were created. The bedrooms are equipped with beds, TVs, and other amenities. The plane also has a communal. The Boeing 767 hotel is located in the coastal village of Enniscrone, County Sligo. It is a popular tourist destination, and it offers guests a unique and memorable experience. In 2018, a flight between Dubai and Amsterdam was cancelled due to a passenger's flatulence. The passenger was repeatedly breaking wind, and the smell was so bad that it caused a fight to break out between 2 other passengers. The pilot was forced to make an emergency landing in Vienna, Austria. The incident made headlines around the world, and it was dubbed the fart flight, or the flatulence flight. It also sparked a debate about the etiquette of farting in public places. Some people argued that the passenger was not to blame for his condition, while others said that he should have taken steps to control his flatulence, such as using air freshener or wearing a gas mask. In September 2019, a pilot spilled coffee in the cockpit of an Airbus A330-243 plane flying into Mexico. The coffee spilled into the audio control panel, causing smoke and a burning smell. The pilot was forced to make an emergency landing in Shannon Airport in Ireland. The coffee spill is a reminder of the importance of following safety procedures in the cockpit. Pilots are not allowed to eat or drink in the cockpit, and they must always use the cup holders provided. Even a small spill can cause. The incident also highlights the importance of having multiple backups in place. The coffee spill disabled the audio control panel, which caused communication problems between the pilots and air traffic control. If there had not been another airport nearby, the pilots may have been forced to make a more difficult landing. In 2011, passengers on a Boeing 757 flying from Amritsar, India, to Birmingham, England, were held hostage by their own airline. The plane ran out of money while it was in the air, and the airline demanded that the passengers pay $25,000 in fuel costs. Some passengers were even escorted to ATMs by security staff and forced to withdraw cash. The plane eventually completed the journey, but the matter ended up in the hands of the police. The plane eventually landed in Birmingham, where the passengers reported the matter to the police. The police arrested the airline's chairman, Vijay Mallya, and charged him with kidnapping and extortion. The incident is also a reminder of the power of the public. When people are treated unfairly, they will often speak out and demand justice. The public outcry over the hostage situation helped to bring Mallya to justice. In 2013, a Boeing 747 Dreamliner landed at Jabara Airport in Wichita, Kansas, which is 8 miles away from its intended destination, McConnell Air Force Base. The pilot was supposed to land at McConnell, but he became confused about which airport he was supposed to land at. The pilot's explanation for the mistake was that he couldn't read his own handwriting in the cockpit and therefore made an error of judgment when looking at the ground. He was subsequently suspended from flying for 60 days. The incident at Jabara Airport is a rare occurrence, but it is a reminder that even the smallest mistakes can have serious consequences. Pilots must be vigilant and follow all safety procedures to ensure the safety of their passengers. In August 2018, a mechanic named Richard Russell stole a Horizon Air Q400 passenger plane from Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. He took the plane into the sky for an illegal joyride. Fighter jets were scrambled to intercept the stolen aircraft, but Russell refused to land. He eventually crashed the plane on a small island, where it exploded. Russell was killed in the crash. The reason why Russell stole the plane is unknown. He was reportedly a well-liked and friendly mechanic who had no history of mental health problems. Some people believe that he was simply going through a personal crisis and that he took the plane as a way to commit suicide. Others believe that he was trying to commit a terrorist act. The FBI investigated the incident, but they were unable to find any evidence that Russell was motivated by terrorism. They concluded that he was likely suffering from a mental health crisis and that he took the plane as a way to escape his problems. In 2019, a swarm of 20,000 bees made a Mango Airlines plane engine in Durban, South Africa, their new home. The plane was on the ground at the time, but the bees still caused the plane to be grounded for several hours. The airport had to call upon a team of bee specialists to persuade the bees to leave. The bees were eventually removed from the engine and taken to a more suitable home. The plane was then able to fly again. Bees are attracted to the heat and vibrations of airplane engines. They also see the engines as a safe place to build their nests. When bees swarm into an airplane engine, it can cause the engine to overheat and malfunction. In some cases, the bees can even cause the engine to fail completely. This can be a serious safety hazard, as it can lead to a crash. In 2009, U.S. Airways Flight 1549 made an emergency landing on the Hudson River in New York City after both of its engines were disabled by a flock of geese. All 155 people on board the plane survived. The pilot of the plane, Chesley Sullenberger, was hailed as a hero for his quick thinking and skillful flying. He was able to land the plane safely on the water, even though it was not designed to do so. The Miracle on the Hudson is considered one of the most successful emergency landings in aviation history. The pilot, Chesley Sullenberger, was a former Air Force fighter pilot and airline captain with over 40 years of experience. He quickly assessed the situation and decided to land the plane on the Hudson River. He knew that this was a risky maneuver, but it was the only way to save the lives of the passengers and crew. The 10 airplane incidents discussed in this video are just a few of the many that have occurred over the years. While some of these incidents were more serious than others, they all serve as a reminder that air travel is not without its risks, but it is still one of the safest modes of transportation. you.